This week's show has been made possible with the continued support of Alpha Affiliates, where webmasters can earn up to 50% rev share. Hello, my fellow iGaming friends. Jay Tutt back out here in the Pacific Northwest wilderness, where it is still overcast and cool, but no rain yet. So I'm just happy to be back to share another week's worth of gambling news. As usual, we have a lot to cover, so let's get started with the story that we talked about last week with the potential of licensing affiliates in the United Kingdom. A story I was fairly negative about, since such things can involve complex legal paperwork and fees that many webmasters may find cost prohibitive. Of course, big affiliates may actually like that aspect, since it could, in theory, eliminate much of their competition. It seems I was not alone in my trepidation of affiliate licensing, especially given the UK's established history of overcomplicating things and over-regulating everything. An opinion piece from our friends at iGaming Business also notes concerns that smaller webmasters could, in fact, be forced out of the business, and that organizations which came out in favor of this idea, namely the RAIG, is actually made up of some of the largest affiliates in the industry. In addition to this unfair advantage, the piece also notes additional burdens on the Gambling Commission and the possibility that players could be forced into black market operators, among other things. Not to represent a singular viewpoint, IGB also published a second opinion piece on why licensing affiliates is a good thing. Full disclosure, that piece was written by a member of the RAIG. Nevertheless, it does correctly point out that regulatory changes are necessary and that affiliate licensing is already taking place in other jurisdictions, along with other valid arguments. Perhaps your opinion on this particular topic all comes down to your status and position in this industry. Either way, I've linked to both stories below this video so that you can read them for yourselves without my input.
Sponsored by Bet365.
Hey, welcome back. In case you have not heard yet, the virtual version of IGB Live will be taking place on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of this month. That's next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, if you're watching this video when it's released on Friday. If you're watching this video when you come back from the weekend on Monday, well, then the event is about to start tomorrow. And if you're watching this video after that, you're missing it. So get over there to igblive.com. There will be sessions, chat discussions, one-on-one video meetings, even a poker tournament. If you're interested, simply follow the link in this video's description. And at this point, IGB Live in Amsterdam is still scheduled to go forward September 22nd through 25th of this year. However, in all honesty, I feel that may be optimistic. It's a wonderful event, don't get me wrong, held in a great town, put on by fantastic people. But from my perspective here in America, it just doesn't look likely. Heck, you guys might not let us in the country. Hopefully I'm wrong. But one thing I do know for sure is that October comes after September, and the Global Gaming Expo, scheduled for Vegas in October, has already been canceled and rescheduled for October 2021. So they're not even going to try to push it back. They just said, screw it, let's do it next year. Lastly, a story that was somewhat confusing for me at first. A story where the UK's Gamble Aware is calling on banks in the country to block credit card transactions for betting. Confusing because I thought credit cards were already banned for gambling. So, has a loophole been uncovered? Or is this an attempt to stop offshore betting? Well, after a careful read and consulting with people smarter than me, which is basically almost anybody, it seems this is more of a proactive move to back up and/or reinforce the ban already in place. And hey, nothing says your government at work like redundancy. Sort of reminiscent of the UIGEA in America, targeting banks, credit cards, and net teller. So, I think that's all I have for you this week, and if not, I'll cover it next week. And here comes a car right in the middle of my shot. It would have screwed it up, but we're at the end of the program. Yeah, that's right, pal. We're at the end of the program, and that's right, you just drive on. You can't do nothing. Sucker. Big affiliates may actually like that aspect of things, since it could, in fact, eliminate some of their competition. There we go. I almost made it. Way out here in the middle of the wilderness, and here comes the only car for 17 miles. At least I have a blooper now. You know, I don't mind when bloopers happen, and I even welcome them as a humorous part of the show, but when it continues to go on, it just ruins my videos. And I think everyone who's on vacation in this county has decided that today is the day to drive down this road. It's like a day's walk in either direction to get to civilization, and wouldn't you know, I just picked the perfect location for everyone to come by. There's only like 200,000 people in this entire county, and half of them are on this road today. You see this road on a map, it's like a little line. It's not even paved, as you can tell. It's going through the middle of the wilderness, like where there's nobody around for miles. For miles, there's nothing. To block credit card transactions for betting. Confusing because I'm about to pull out a baseball bat and beat somebody over the... I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I wanted to. I really did. But I didn't say it.